ever dreamed of a road trip that combines epic American history with stunning natural beauty, then you're in the right place. Today, we're taking you on an unforgettable journey to the heart of the Black Hills in South Dakota, to witness one of the most iconic monuments in the world, Mount Rushmore. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. A giant sculpture in the middle of nowhere. Is it really worth the trip? I'm here to tell you 100% yes. This isn't just about seeing 4 presidential faces carved into a mountain. It's about the entire experience. The crisp mountain air, the incredible landscapes, and the feeling of standing before something so monumental, so ambitious, it almost seems impossible. Over the next 10 minutes, we're going to break down everything you need to know to plan your own amazing adventure. We'll cover the best times to visit, how to get here, and what a realistic budget looks like, from flights and car rentals to accommodation and food. And trust me, the food here is a surprisingly delicious part of the story. We'll also explore the must-see attractions around Mount Rushmore because this region is packed with hidden gems you won't want to miss. So, buckle up. We're starting our journey right now, and I promise, by the end of this video, you'll be checking flights to South Dakota. Let's dive into what makes a trip to Mount Rushmore a true bucket list experience. First things first, let's talk about getting here and where to stay. The closest major airport is Rapid City Regional Airport, which is about a 45-minute drive from the monument. We rented a car right at the airport, which I highly recommend. Having your own wheels is essential for exploring the Black Hills at your own pace. The drive itself is beautiful, with the landscape shifting from plains to rolling hills as you get closer to the mountains. For our trip, we decided to base ourselves in Keystone, a historic mining town just a few miles from Mount Rushmore. It has this really cool Old West vibe with wooden boardwalks and charming shops. We found a cozy cabin-style lodge that costs about $180 a night. You can find everything from budget-friendly motels to more upscale resorts in the area, especially in Rapid City, but for that authentic Black Hills feel, staying in a smaller town like Keystone or Hill City is the way to go. If you're on a tighter budget, camping is a fantastic option, with numerous campgrounds scattered throughout the Custer State Park. Now for the main event. Visiting Mount Rushmore National Memorial. The entrance fee is just $10 per vehicle, and that pass is valid for an entire year. We decided to go early in the morning to beat the crowds and catch that magical golden hour light. Walking up the avenue of flags, with each state and territory flag fluttering in the breeze, builds this incredible sense of anticipation. And then you see it. Honestly, no photo or video can truly capture the scale of it. Standing there, looking up at the 60-foot-tall faces of Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln is just poignant. You can feel the dedication and the sheer willpower it took to create this masterpiece. We spent a good hour just on the Grand View Terrace, taking it all in from different angles. But don't just stay at the top. Make sure you walk the Presidential Trail. It's an easy half-mile loop that takes you closer to the base of the sculpture. Being right underneath those granite giants gives you a completely different perspective on the intricate details and the massive amount of rock that was blasted away. Along the trail, there are little plaques that share fascinating stories about the presidents and the sculptor Gutzon Borglum. It's a really immersive way to connect with the history of the monument. Another can't-miss part of the experience is the sculptor's studio. Here you can see the original plaster models and tools used during the carving process. It's fascinating to see the 1/12th scale model that the workers used as their guide. It really helps you appreciate the engineering and artistic genius behind the project. One of the most moving parts of our visit was the evening lighting ceremony. We came back just before sunset. As dusk settles over the hills, a park ranger gives a patriotic talk, and then, slowly, the faces on the mountain are illuminated. It's a powerful and solemn moment. They invite all current and former military members in the audience to come on stage while the flag is lowered, and it's a truly touching tribute. If you can, I urge you to stay for this. It adds a whole new layer of meaning to the visit. Of course, a trip to the Black Hills is about more than just Mount Rushmore. This area is an adventurer's paradise. Just a short drive away is Custer State Park, and folks, this place is a must-do. The park is home to one of the largest free-roaming bison herds in the country. We took a drive along the Wildlife Loop Road, and it was like being on a real-life safari. We saw dozens of bison, some just feet from our car. We also spotted graceful pronghorn antelope, curious prairie dogs peeking out of their burrows, and the famous begging burros. These are wild donkeys who are descendants of the pack animals used for tours in the past, and they are not shy about sticking their heads in your car window for a snack. It's absolutely hilarious and makes for some great photos. For the drivers out there, you have to experience the Needles Highway. This 14-mile road is an adventure in itself, with sharp turns, narrow tunnels blasted through solid rock, and jaw-dropping views of granite spires that look like needles pointing to the sky. Driving through the Needles Eye Tunnel, which is barely wide enough for one car, is a white-knuckle experience you won't forget. The scenery is just spectacular. And if you're looking for more history, make the trip to the Crazy Horse Memorial, which is also nearby. This massive mountain carving, still in progress, is dedicated to the legendary Lakota warrior. When completed, it will be the largest sculpture in the world. Seeing the sheer ambition of this project and learning about its mission to honor the culture and heritage of North American Indians is profoundly moving. It offers a vital and important perspective that complements the story told at Mount Rushmore. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite topics, food. You might be surprised by the culinary scene here. Of course, you have to try a buffalo burger. It's a lean, flavorful local specialty, and you can find it on the menu at almost every diner and restaurant. We had an amazing one at a place in Custer called the Black Hills Burger and Bun Co. Totally worth the wait. Another South Dakota classic is chislik. It's essentially cubes of marinated and fried meat, usually lamb or beef, served on skewers. It's the perfect savory snack after a long day of hiking. For something sweet, you have to try wajapi, a traditional Native American berry sauce. It's often served with fry bread, and the combination is absolutely divine, warm, fluffy, and bursting with berry flavor. And you can tea leave Mount Rushmore without trying the vanilla ice cream based on Thomas Jefferson's own recipe from 1780. You can get it at the Carver's Cafe right at the memorial, eating ice cream while gazing up at the presidents. It's a uniquely American experience. So let's crunch some numbers. What does a trip like this actually cost? Let's break down a potential 4-day trip budget for 2 people. Round-trip flights to Rapid City can range from $300 to $600 per person, depending on where you're flying from and when you book. Let's average that at $450 each, so $900 for 2. A rental car for 4 days will be around $250, including gas. For lodging, if you choose a mid-range hotel or cabin, like we did, you can budget about $180 a night, totaling $720 for 4 nights. For food, if you mix in restaurant dining with some grocery store snacks, you can comfortably get by on $100 per day for 2 people, so that's $400. Entrance fees are very reasonable. The Mount Rushmore Pass is $10. Custer State Park is $20 per vehicle for a 7-day pass, and the Crazy Horse Memorial is about $30 per car. So let's round up the activities to about $60, adding it all up. You're looking at a total of around $2,330 for 2 people, or about $1,165 per person for an incredible 4-day adventure. Of course, you can easily do this for less by camping and being more frugal with food, or you can splurge on higher-end accommodations. But this gives you a realistic baseline to start planning. So, is a trip to Mount Rushmore and the Black Hills worth it? Absolutely. It's so much more than just a monument. It's a journey through American history, a celebration of artistry and determination, and an immersion into some of the most beautiful and wild landscapes the country has to offer. It's a trip that leaves you feeling inspired, refreshed, and with a camera full of incredible memories, from the majestic faces on the mountain to the bison roaming free. This is an experience that truly touches your soul. I hope this guide has inspired you to add South Dakota to your travel list. It's a place that exceeded all of our expectations, and I know it will for you too. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Let me know in the comments if you've either been to Mount Rushmore or if it's on your bucket list. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.